Hello, Champion Patriots. I thank you, and I'm delighted to share with you a very special guest on my podcast series. One question: what does the Trump win mean to you? Make sure you like and hit follow and share and all that great stuff we talk about on however you're listening to this, either on my audio podcast platform or on Rumble. I appreciate you hitting the thumbs up and sharing, getting the word out. This is a very special series where I reached out to some special friends of mine, some political influencers, conservative influencers, and ultimately people that I believe have the right heart and the right message to share with you. A quick message between 5 and 10 minutes, right to the point, about what the Trump win means to them. So I appreciate you taking part of the series by listening and sharing. And today's special guest is a great friend of mine. I've been on his show numerous times. He's been on my show numerous times. I met the great Gary Binford. And as I always share on all my podcasts, grab a pen that writes, take some notes, and this gives you the information, the educated information to share with others that you believe may not really know what's really happening. And with the Trump win, as you know how I feel, shutting the borders down, economic explosion here in South Florida. In Florida, the real estate is exploding. So with that said, here's a quick overview of Gary Binford. United Patriots Uprising host Gary Binford. His show is very powerful because it seeks to enlighten and equip so we can engage, expose, and defeat the left's radical agenda in the arena of ideas to the glory of God for family, country, and constitution. Make sure you follow Gary. Make sure that you listen to his podcast. So with that said, I want to get right to it. Here's a great Gary Binford sharing for you his feelings and his thoughts of one question. What does the Trump win mean to you? Special guest, Gary Binford.
President Trump's victory mean to me and to the country? Well, we get to stop the bleeding. I wish I could sing Happy Days Are Here Again, but that's not what's happening. You can see right now, he's not even in the White House. And all the forces against we the people, all the forces that have been trying to bring this country down, to take us from a constitutional republic into socialism, which eventually slides into communism, are working overtime. They were this close, somewhere in the red zone, thinking they were going to spike the football. And if they had won this election, America would not have been recognizable. So this stops the bleeding, but this is just the start. Now the hard part comes. Now closing the border. Now getting the evangelical church back to serving Jesus Christ and away from social justice. Now getting the Marxist professors out of the schools, and getting the media has to be dealt with. The media, which has lied to us and covered up the mainstream, the legacy, whatever you want to call it, media that has been carrying the Democrat Party's agenda. And this is kind of how I explain this. And I've explained this for years this way. Remember when we used to watch Westerns and back in the day, and there'd be a shootout, and the bad guys would be shooting against the good guys, and the good guys would be shooting against the bad guys. And somebody on either side, hiding behind a rock or hiding behind a barrel or whatever he's hiding behind, would yell, "Cover me." And then he'd run out in plain sight and get a better spot to shoot from. Now, why didn't he get blasted as soon as he got out in plain sight? Because when he said, "Cover me," that meant his side starts firing. So you have to stay behind your barrel or behind your rock or behind the corner where you're hiding, and you can't get a clear shot at him until he has gotten where he was trying to get to a new spot to hide, and now it's too late. And that's what we've been going through for 15, 20 years now. The Democratic Party would come out with all their anti-God, anti-American, communist, Marxist, socialist, progressive, whatever you want to call them, garbage. And they do it in plain sight. But the reason they got away with it is because the media would not call them on it. The media protected them. The media would not say, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. Or at least ask questions, the right questions. Never did it. And because of that, they were able to run with this football from one goal line all the way down into the red zone at the other end of the field. And were one election away from court packing, just look at what we just went through. We have open borders. We have men playing sports in women's games, biological men. Now, the woman that actually was running for president actually had the audacity to say, yeah, well, we should be paying for prisoners to get transgender surgery in prison, and you have to pay it for your tax. Oh, is she nuts? Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is,
I just want to highlight what the great Gary Binford is saying, how close we were. We were in a hairline of losing America. And now we're back stronger than ever. Incredible point Gary's bringing up, highlighting transgenders, which, as many of you know, over the years, I went off on that from the start of it. It's nonsense. Incredible point Gary is bringing up is so important. So important. So important. Very, very close. Great words, Mr. Gary Binford. Back to Gary.
We have given away so much of the store. We can't get this back overnight. So it's going to be a fight, and it's going to be a battle. Hollywood, the television, every aspect of entertainment, is going to have to be purged. And I'm just counting on President Trump and his outstanding group of cabinet members to understand where to start. You start with the border. You're going to correct the economy, but we've got to put the kibosh. We've got to end this Marxist socialist agenda. It must be unraveled from the top down. And when we're able to do that, then and only then will we be able to start singing Happy Days Are Here Again. But people, they're going to need our help. And here's why. Politicians will respond to the masses. If the masses get behind the Trump agenda, it'll just energize everybody to keep going and to understand I have the wind at my back. Let's go forward. So we have to get behind the agenda, because if we don't get behind it, no matter how tough it may seem, especially when this border thing starts hitting from, okay, we've gotten a lot of the criminals out of here. Now we need to start getting other people who don't belong in this country. They got to go. Okay. Oh, they're separating from Uncle Oscar and this, and the media's going to be showing you pictures of little children and saying they're being separated. Well, what happens when you go to jail, right? When they come and arrest daddy or mommy, what have they done? They've separated them from the children, right? So we are going to have to, as I remember I was at the Rock the Red convention down in South Carolina in 2021. That's where Lieutenant General Michael Flynn spoke, and he said, I'm hoping when the time comes that America, the people of America, will have what it takes to take the trash out. When you find out who has been treasonous, when you find out who are the traitors to we the people, when you find out who are the enemies to the Constitution of the United States, are you willing to help the powers that be take it out? That's where we are right now, people. The time has come. And there are going to be some big names. A lot of them may leave the country on their own, but some of them may not. And when it comes time to take the trash out, we have to do our part. And we don't have to take the trash out, but just give Trump and his staff and his cabinet a nice big garbage bag. That'll help. So, thank you, Lord, for answering our prayer and giving us a little bit more time to get this right. We the people, in God we stand.
Those are some awesome words from the great Gary Binford. It's so important because, when I speak about Trump won, understand the depth of that. And I want all you to write that down. Trump won. Very, very, very powerful. And what Gary talked about is that politicians listen. Ultimately, they understood right now that no matter how much they rant and rave, that even as much as the election was, we know there's still tons of stealing going on in the election, that we the people were heard. And that's why we here in America, it's so powerful. And I pause for a second. We the people, three of the most important words. As you know how much I love the American flag, as you know how much I love capitalism, the opportunity for all of you to maximize God's gift that he gave you. I wrote a book back in 2020 about capitalism, making capitalism great again, maximize. I believe the greatest years are ahead for us. Also, the greatest part about President Trump is he doesn't have to be concerned about running in 2028. And he's putting into his cabinet picks are tremendous. Watch for some other episodes coming up about the power of his cabinet picks, which is so important. Because that's the foundation. That's the backbone of this country. So I appreciate all of you once again giving thumbs up, thanking, liking this special episode featuring Gary Binford. One question: what does a Trump win mean to you, Gary? Thank you so very much for your words of wisdom. And also, I want to make sure all of you patronize our sponsors. We have 3 sponsors for my podcast show, and you'll see them in the description here along the banner. Also, that's going along the bottom of the live broadcast, and also in the description box. My wife, as you know, is one of the most sought after, trusted real estate professionals, professional home stagers and designers, has rave reviews. Just today, right before I went live to record this, she had multiple offers on a property. So anyone in the entire country looking for anything in Florida real estate, have a discussion with my wife. Also, she has an incredible monthly guide she sent out called Florida Inside Living News. So make sure, any questions, investing at a great value, those of you that want to sell a property here in Florida, great value, feel free to give my wife a call or text at 561-644-0578. And you can also visit our website, ChristyDelemme.com. You'll see the information in the description here on the video here on Rumble. Also, make sure to shop around at a marketplace, which has been in business for many years, conservativemarketplace.com. You'll see our flag pins there. You'll see my patriotic tires there, conservativemarketplace.com. Thank you very much. And very proud, we released this about a month ago. It's an online store called DeLemmeDecor.com. Delemme Decor. My last name, Dilemme, also my wife's last name, Delemme Decor, DECOR.com, DeLemmeDecor.com. We're going to have a local store here opened up here in beautiful West Palm Beach, Florida. And my studio is about 8 minutes away from Mar-a-Lago. So we are heavy in the depths of beautiful West Palm Beach, Florida, and Palm Beach. DeLemmeDecor.com. So 3 sponsors: my wife, Christy, for real estate; number 2, Conservative Marketplace; and 3, DeLemmeDecor.com. We thank you for sharing. We thank you for being a listener. Take some notes on what Gary said. Watch for all the upcoming episodes, and any guests that you'd like me to interview, to have them share 5 or 10 minutes of one question. What does a Trump win mean to you? Feel free to comment below or message me on any of the platforms, or you could personally call or text me at 561-847-3467. Once again, 561-847-3467. Thank you very much. Have yourself an outstanding, tremendous day. Greatest day ever. God bless all of you. Thank you. It was a delight to hear the great Gary Binford.